that sex, it's not only about having sex, it's more about your sexual image, it's more about your openness, your relationship, your connection with other people. Is it romantic or friendship?
Voices to hear.
Hello and welcome to Voices to Hear. My name is Clarissa Leute and I'm here with Darko Milosevski. Today we will discuss sexual education in Macedonia.
Hello, I am Darko Milosevski. I come from Skopje. I'm 22 years old. I'm a journalist at Vidivaka. However, I'm as well educator in sexual education, and I'm very glad to be here.
Thank you very much for being here. We are glad that you came. So tell me a bit more about the sex education that you're doing. How did you get involved?
My friend was actually a sexual educator, and I just saw her doing this great job, like educating the youth about sexual education, and as well as seeing the youth how uneducated they are relating to sexual education. Seeing the conspiracy theories spreading around the internet that people believe in, I wanted to contribute to this fight to educate our young people to fight against fake news and to, spread education.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And what would you say? What does the sex education system in Macedonia look like right now?
There is no formal sex education system. I mean, when I was young, there were only people coming from private companies that sold medics in a way, and we had like one lesson about contraception, how to use condoms, and they spread condoms to every children. However, my generation and as well this generation are very uneducated because they don't have any kind of formal education. We can see that they get educated in the forums at internet, and from these forums they can a lot of misinformation. They're like, will I get pregnant from pillow? Will I get infection from eating oranges? Is HIV in plants?
Okay,
Literally
that's crazy.
every kind of myths.
Wow.
And also the myth that condoms is better.
Mhm.
The myth that victim is guilty. Okay, this is the more serious one that even the older people believe it. But yeah, they are sexually uneducated from young to old.
How are you trying to fight against that? What are you trying to do?
Okay, so we are educating young people. We are from informal organization called HERA, and we are putting these calls, open calls on internet that young people from high school age can apply to get sexually educated. And these are 8 classes that we teach. The classes about gender, about sex, about human rights, about sexual violence, about toxic relationships, contraception, infection, STDs, etc. And we want to, educate our young people about these topics. And it's easier when it's us that we are educating because, we are young people and we have been in high school 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And so we can closely relate with them, with their mentality, and it's easier approach towards them. So they accept us much easier. And when we create this safe group, it's easier because they see us as friends. We can connect them with them much easier than, let's say, older educator who's 30 or 40 cannot relate so closely with these young people.
Okay. And you also told me that you did a video trying to spread more awareness about sexual education.
Yeah, because I work as a journalist, I wanted to contribute as well to my volunteering experience at sexual educator. So I tried to combine this, and I created a video about awareness of sexual education, what actually we as sexual educators are doing. And in this video, they're explaining why is it called sexual education. That sex, it's not only about having sex, it's more about your sexual image, it's more about your openness, your relationship, your connection with other people. Is it romantic or friendship? Yeah, in the video we are trying to explain these myths that people are having, what actually we are educating, that we are not. There is this myth in our society that sexual education is about educating young people about sexual poses, about Kama Sutra, about how to put one thing in another thing. And it's not that, of course. It's much more. It's about sexual relations, as I explained, toxic relationships, about contraception, etc. And in this video, they explain this, like, what are we actually doing? We are not trying to, create this. With the video, we try to explain and fight with this conspiracy spreading on the internet. What actually is sexual education? That is, as explained, the topics about gender, about sex, about toxic relationship, about gender issues, and self-image issues. And when you explain to the parents personally, they're always for the idea. If they had misconception or they have negative views about sexual education, where you sit on one with them and you explain them the idea, they are for this idea. They are for their children to get sexually educated. And I thought that with this video I will contribute in sense of that people will see actually what we are doing. However, still, I don't know how much it got positive views, because a lot of in the comments I got, again, as negative views as they can be. And of course, we delete the extremely hateful one. But there are no like death threats,
Okay.
we only got death threats. We live extremely curses. But we live like hateful comments that you're stupid, how can you do this? Shame on you, we don't like around my children. You only care, your ass is open.
Yeah.
Your ass is only open for money and nothing else. And they see us like NGO only caring about money, not caring about kids and their sexual educating. And I believe it contributed, because it got 16,000 views and only 30 negative comments, which is good. In Macedonia.
In Macedonia.
It's good. And yeah, I believe in a way I contributed, because it's still 6,000. It's not a small number of people who actually got information.
And the people who wrote the hateful comments, what do you think? What's the background? Why would you write comments so hateful?
Well, they're the easiest thing for them is to pour their frustration online. They won't do this in life. I don't believe so. But because they're unsatisfied from their lives, unsatisfied for their marriages, from their works, from their job, they are searching for these values. They are searching for these goals, how they can improve their society they are living. When you don't have something important in your life, when you don't have something to pour your energy and something that you get inspired by, you are searching for these new goals. And these people find their goal in a sense to believe in these conspiracy theories and fight for traditional marriages, fight for the traditional values of society. And they believe everything that everything not goes against it, but wants to improve the society we live in. They are naturally against it, and they don't even want to listen to you. They will just every people that put the comment on the video didn't even saw the video, because we explain it in the video. What is sexual education? Why is it called sexual education? It's not about sexual poses. It's not that you don't know where the penis goes. It's a lot more about that. And yeah, these people didn't even see the video. They just commented. They are just totally against it. They don't even want to listen to you. But of course, there are still neutral parents. There are still people that don't have statements about this. And I believe when they see the video, they will get, okay, cool, this is a good thing. This is like for our children, for the better of their health, sexual, mental, physical, in every sense.
So I see that you get some negative comments and you get some negative feedback, but what's motivating you? What's motivating you to keep going?
It's motivating me to the young people, of course, when you see their energy after the education, when they're so happy what they learned about toxic relationships, etc., you get this motivation to continue on. It's about them. It's not about this older generation that cannot even understand you. It's about the new generation who are, we are always saying the young are the future, but they really are. Of course they are. I mean,
Who else?
and if they get sexual education, like tomorrow, it will be much better for sure. And of course, I get the energy and the will from them. I also want to contribute in this fight against fake news because, the majority of them will not listen to you. However, there's still these neutral parents that may have heard these conspiracy theories. But, well, when you come in the space and you explain what is truly sexual education, they're for it. They're like, okay, I want this to be taught to my child.
What are your feelings for the future of sexual education in Macedonia?
I believe the future is positive. I see a bright future for our generations, because they're more connected with the outside world. They are more connected with young Europeans, with progressive part of the youth, and I think this is better for the whole world. I mean, with this connection that they have all around the world, I only can see more better for the future. Seriously, I believe as well in the Macedonian youth culture that they are a lot more progressive. They're a lot more trying to help us. After the lessons we educate them. They want to become volunteers. They want to be part of us, and they want to be part of this community, like fighting for, progressive values in a way. And there's still, we're still in a baby steps, let's say. But when sexual education gets informal education, when there will be, let's say, civil marriages for LGBT community, we didn't speak about that because we also teach about differences, about acceptance, about homophobia, and acceptance of all genders, all sexual orientations. And I believe when we have these baby steps of acceptance, and when there will be more seen in the culture, in the Macedonian culture, they'll got more accepted because they will understand that they're human and they only want to get sexual education. They only want the same rights, etc. I get too much broad with my explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, great. Thank you so much. I just have to say you're like a big part of this movement. What you do is really important. I'm really happy to see that. It's really moving for me. So thank you for doing your work and thank you for being on this podcast. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you very much as well. It was a pleasure to me.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.